Alright guys, welcome back to Carve and Rob. Yep, it's a little bit on the later side, but we have just finished the cottonwood bark Christmas tree. Okay, another ornament for my tree. Gotta paint them, I'm gonna paint them all. That's probably next stage here. Okay, now you can see the difference between these two trees. This one was made out of some really thin, half-inch basswood. Details not all that deep, right? But he's still cute, still cool. Looks like a Christmas cookie, kind of. Okay, then we got this guy. Now this guy is made out of cottonwood bark. Has a lot deeper detail because this piece of cottonwood bark was almost 3/4 of an inch thick. So we got a lot more facial details. Nose sticks out further, mustache sticks out further, trunk sticks out further, and he's got a Christmas hat. Santa Claus was flying by, and he was going so fast that the hat flew off his head and landed on this poor Christmas tree. I got a hat, I got a hat. Hey, I want a hat. Sorry. Santa only had one hat. And I got it. Ha ha ha. Okay. So, silliness over? Well, who knows with me? You never know. The silliness could break out at any second. Any second. It's tense. I was talking to an Indian guy. And I said, hey, why don't you guys ever freeze? He said, because the heat is intense. Nah, 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 nah. Yeah, terrible joke, Rob. Terrible. That's an uncle joke. Yeah, okay. So, there's our Christmas trees. Okay? This one was carved all by hand, just like this one. Just using my knives. Now, let's go over some of the details between the two woods. Let me tell you about their features. Okay, basswood. Easy to carve. Great wood. My preferred choice for carving is basswood or butternut. Okay? Cottonwood bark. What can I say? This is my second piece I've carved out of cottonwood bark. The first piece was a snowman. Let me get him. Hang on. I know I should have been prepared. I should have had him here already. Rob, what are you doing? You're making us wait. You got empty space going on, Rob. You got it. Okay, but we got him. Okay. Trip over the dremel. Okay, this is the snowman I made, guys. That's what I don't remember if I posted him or not, but that's what he ended up looking like. Cottonwood bark. Good for carving larger figures like this. Now, just to give you a for instance, this is the size of the snowman. This is the size of the tree. The snowman measures in at a healthy 7 inches. By 3 inches wide, let's say. Okay. The tree measures in at 5.5 inches by about 3 inches wide. So, snowman much bigger, guys. Much bigger. Not too many high details on the snowman, you know, because the nose was added. The arms were added. The eyes and the mouth and a scarf. Okay. Fairly big features. Now, when we get into this tree, these smaller guys, you can see we got a chip here. Very chippy wood. Okay. Carves like butter. You love carving it until it starts chipping pieces off. Okay, so whenever doing something this size, make sure that you leave yourself room for error, let's say, for chips, where you can integrate them into the carving. Very, very chippy wood. Downside. Upside, carves like butter. Awesome to carve. No problem with the knives. Slides right through it. It's great. Getting into the smaller stuff, I've chipped this hat off a couple times already. But I bought it back, so it's all good. just beware of that if you buy cottonwood bark and you're going to do small things. If you're going to do big things, like big wood spirits or these big snowmen like this or something like that, go for it. You will not regret the purchase of your cottonwood bark. If you're going to do small things like this. Now remember, this was out of a much bigger piece of cottonwood bark that I identified cracks that was in it, and I took the middle of it. Okay, so I tried getting away from all the cracks. And it's a beautiful wood. It's really got that like a Magoozy zebra thing going on there. It's almost hypnotic. It's awesome. Awesome color. And I imagine it's going to take paint really well too. So just remember, small little projects on a scale from 1 to 10, I give it about a 7. Just because it's so chippy. But cuts awesome. Knife slide right through it. Good sharp knife. Cut right through it. The only bad part is you start doing plunge cuts with it, and the pressure from a knife will chip it out. Maybe not so much with a Dremel. You might have better luck with a Dremel, with the smaller carbide bits. So I really like carving cottonwood bark. I don't know if I would do another small project like this with it, just because with a bigger project you can work around a chip. You got more material to work with. With these little guys, it's only this big, you know. You get a chip and it's a major malfunction. It's a major problem. So for little things, basswood. For bigger things, cottonwood bark. They all got their purpose, guys. And for me, carving cottonwood bark is like for carving basswood is like a 9. Okay. Carving cottonwood bark, 7, 8, more 7. Carving butternut, it's up there around 8.5. Carving balsa wood, 5. Balsa carves, I mean, it's light, it's soft, but the problem with balsa is a little too soft. The knife doesn't, if you're using a knife, it really doesn't want to cut it. It wants to crush it. And even with a razor blade, it still wants to crush it. So when you plunge in, it doesn't really cut. You've always got to use like a slicing cut on balsa wood in order to get it to cut. So yeah, if you got a choice of carving woods, here you go. Basswood, cottonwood bark, awesome. Butternut, awesome. Beech, awesome. Birch, depends on what stage of life it's in. If you get birch that's dry, it's harder on your knives because it is a hardwood, but it still carves well. If you get birch where it's a little green yet, not totally dry, carves awesome. Get birch when it's green, awesome, but you got to watch out for cracks. So birch, sorry, still fighting this cold. Birch, I'd give a 6. This I'd give, 7, 7.5 right in that area. This is more like a 9. 8.5, 9. I haven't carved every wood in the world, so I cannot give this a 10. So once I get to that level where I've carved a couple more different species of wood. Oh, cedar. Cedar carves very nice. My problem with cedar where I live is I have to buy it. And the stores around here are terrible with their cedar. The price of it is high. The quality of it is low. To find a cedar board without any knots, right? It isn't gonna happen. So, cedar carves awesome. I would give our cedar, not Geordie cedar, but Michigan cedar. I'd have to give that like a 5.5, just because it's hard to find a good board. I've even been looking in like Goodwills and that for old cedar chests, or a lot of people used to have cedar closets. So I look at to see if they've got any cedar that they've pulled out, stuff like that, so I can get it cheaper. But carve cedar, carve cottonwood bark, carve basswood, carve a plain old pine 2x4. Just carve, people, carve. Yes, I get a little excited about carving. I love carving. Carving's a thing. So, there you go, Tommy. Now they're right side up to me, but they're upside down to you. So, there it is, guys. I'm going to sand these guys up a little bit, and then I'll paint them. And I don't know if it probably won't be tonight, but I will, as always, show you the finished video of them being painted up. Okay? So, we're going to call it a night for Just Carved Rob. And remember, guys, just carve. Be awesome. Do something awesome. Carve something awesome. I know you can. If I can, you can. And, no, Rich, I'm not stealing that from you. Rich over at Rich over at Choose Your Own Path always says, if I can do it, you can do it. And he's right. I'm not a professional. So if I can do it, you can do it. Rich can do it. Everybody can do it, right? So just carve, share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff. Thanks for watching. And we are up to 142 subscribers. Can you believe it? 142 subscribers. I'm so tickled. Yes, thank you. Thank you, new subscribers. Thank you, old subscribers. Thank you for subscribing. Thank you for watching. And have a good night, guys. We will be back again with another episode soon.